I say the biggest story going into NFL training camp is the biggest story of last season going into NFL training camp. What the heck is Brett Favre going to do?
And I personally don't care about Brett Favre. From the Pubco Studios in Oklahoma City, I'm Mariah Gearhart. Barry, I do agree. Obviously, Brett Favre once again has taken all the spotlight and all the drama of if he's going to come back and return with the Minnesota Vikings, even if he's going to play. Honestly, I'm personally sick of it.
Well, I'm sick of it too. I was sick of Brett Favre 2 years ago. I was a Brett Favre fan when he was in Green Bay. When he went to the Jets, I didn't much care. When he went to the Vikings, he had crossed the line. I'm tired of the drama queen act. I think most everybody in the league is, with the possible exception of the Minnesota receivers. But it's still riveting theater. Is this 40, soon-to-be 41-year-old quarterback going to come back? He got within an overtime of the Super Bowl last year. I think all eyes in the NFL are on Brett Favre, and they're going to be until he's retired and stays retired.
And I do agree, obviously, like I said, he's taken the spotlight once again. And even though I am tired of it, it is a big deal. You know, what is Brett Favre going to do? Everyone wants to know, because you have the Brett Favre fans that want to tune in and watch him. Obviously, Minnesota Viking fans are looking forward to it because they want to know if they're going to have Brett Favre back as a quarterback. And that'll make a big difference for the Vikings and what they're going to do going into the season. And I think Brett Favre will make a huge impact on whether he comes back or not. Personally, I do think he will. Just right now, he's taking all the drama and making it a big deal again. Congratulations, you got it. For me personally, I'm most interested in the Redskins and what they're going to do with their running back situation. 5 Pro Bowlers with Clinton Portis, Larry Johnson, Willie Parker, Brian Westbrook. So my most interested in the thing to see during this training camp is see who stays healthy through this training camp. That's obviously going to be the biggest challenge, and who's going to end up with the most carries going into the season. Obviously, we'll be able to see that during the preseason games, but training camp is where you're going to really be able to tell who's staying in shape, who's going to be able to handle the load of the most carries for this team, and obviously the Redskins need to come back after a not very pleasing year.
Well, I think the Redskins are fascinating, regardless of their running backs. Will Mike Shanahan and Daniel Snyder, the quick trigger owner, will they get along? I think the answer is no. I think Mike Shanahan will go the way of every other coach in the last 10 years in Washington and get his butt fired very quickly. If you can fire Marty Schottenheimer after a pretty good year, you can fire Mike Shanahan after a pretty good year. So running backs have a short shelf life in the NFL. Guys like Clinton Portis and Westbrook and all those guys you mentioned, they don't have much tread left on the tire. When you're coaching the Redskins, like Mike Shanahan, you don't have a lot of tread left either.
Well, another story that has been big, obviously kind of in the spotlight, in the shadows of Brett Favre, is Peyton Manning and Tom Brady's signing. You have Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, who are arguably the best quarterbacks in the league, with Sam Bradford, who may not even be starting, could be making more money than them. So that'll be a huge thing to see during this training camp is who comes out with the most money, either Brady or Peyton Manning as well.
Well, the NFL's totally screwed up on its salary structure. You're paying these enormous amounts of money to guys who have never played yet, while the guys who have produced are getting less. And it's something they've got to fix in the next collective bargaining agreement. You got to pay money to the guys who you know can play, not the guys that you hope can play. Nothing against Sam. I hope he gets $50 million. I hope he comes back and spends it all in Oklahoma and boosts our economy. But it's ridiculous that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Sam Bradford are getting paid about the same amount of money. That's an absurdity.
Tuning into Brett Favre, looking at the different salaries for all these quarterbacks and what they'll end up with, it should be an interesting training camp. Take your pick on what you want to pay attention to. Hey, stay with the best coverage anywhere, online at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.